Let me quickly share this and then I'll start. Quickly share this and then okay. So yesterday I finalized the user story projects page. So this is basically this one here. I covered it with a Cypress test, and then I started working on this new user story, the issue list. And yeah, this is basically the design for this. So the first task was to create this row component. And as you can see, there wasn't much time left, but I created some like the DOM structure or JSX structure, very rough, just to group the components and render them. Yeah, and so today I would like to finalize this task, the row component here, and then also get the data from the API and render this table. Let's see how far we get. Yeah, the first task. So I mentioned yesterday that we also have this mobile design here, and as you can see, this is a table, and so a pretty typical table with columns and rows, but the mobile design is a bit different. It's only cards here. So for each issue, there's a card. So usually you should keep that in mind, of course, like check the mobile design as well. Today I will render this as a table and leave this as a refactoring exercise for the React Job Simulator. I think this could be a nice CSS exercise. So yeah, let's use an HTML table for this, and then we'll see how that turns out. So first, I guess, since I only built the row here, I will wrap this into a table. Then we can actually have the correct design, t-body. So this is the Storybook story, and here Storybook runs. So now we should be able to use TRs and so on for this. So let's see. Yes, we can remove this wrapper here. And now TR. So this one. Okay, this works already fine. Now let's check the design. So, for example, this one, we actually won't build this yet, but just to check the spacing. Here, sorry. So 24 in this direction and 16 bottom and top. I guess this is the same for all of these table cells. Yeah. So here I checked these as well already. So that's the first thing that we can do. Actually move the Figma design here. just to be closer. So let's see. So style.td, and then we can so let's check out. It's always a bit annoying here. So 24 pixel and 16 pixel it was. Let's see. So 16 pixels is 4, 24 is 6. Should find a way to make this better, I guess. 6 and 4, I guess. 4 and 6. Like that. And now these should all be the same actually. Okay, so this seems to work already. Now let's check again the designs. So I don't see so the even rows have a white background and the odd rows have a slightly gray background. That's something that we should probably set at the row level. So let's see. And first of type, no. Let's see. So probably this should be okay. 2n, I guess. Switch the language here. I don't use this very frequently, so let's check if this is this works. And let's check here maybe. So we have the DevTools open. So TR. It's not even shown. I'm not sure. Something broken. Okay, so this works obviously, but so if we would have another one of those, yeah, okay, so this seems to work. Then let's make this color, I guess this was gray 50. Actually I can let's do it like this. So we still have borders here. This doesn't look, because we don't have that here, no. Okay, so CSS table collapse, border collapse, I guess that's it. Is this okay. It should be on the table. I don't use tables a lot, so okay, so this worked fine. Guess we can actually remove the padding here. And now I guess we need to, this looks okay. Now the next thing is that we should style this one here. So you can see that, so this is medium and this is normal. So we have two different font types here. Let's check. So actually first let's position everything correctly. So this seems to be okay, but the icon should be next to the other, to the text. Let's see. So I'm not sure if we can, as I said, okay, this looks okay. So this is the issue cell, cell. This should have the same style as this cell, so we can simply extend this cell and then next display flex. So but now I also need to wrap those into one container. Okay, so this looks already better. Now let's align items center. Okay. Now this is actually this is hard to read, I would say, so or it's hard to understand. So this is much more descriptive, I think. And now let's change the colors. So this is gray 900. I guess this is the default actually in this application, or is it not? Yeah, this should be okay. And this one here is text as normal. Okay, just different colors. So now let's get the font. This is text font. These are like helper functions that I defined. We use SM and then regular, I guess. So this looks already okay. Then this should be medium. Then now we can actually copy paste this. And this should be medium. And this is now the name here. It looks like this doesn't have any effect, so I guess I had the problem already before that the font weights actually didn't really have any effect. So let's see, 500 doesn't change anything. Here it's 500. So if I use 600, then there's a change. So there's something I have to check with the fonts and the font weights. So now we have the type error column, and then here's the error message. Property F object is not extensible. Okay. And then this should have a different color, right? So tag trace div, and then we have color gray. I don't know, 500, I guess it was. Let's check in a bit. And replace this now. So this was gray 500, yes. Okay, so this already comes quite close. Yeah, the exact design, I would check that in the table, I guess. So since we won't do the graph at the moment, this is a different task, which I split out due to its complexity. I would expand this column here and only leave the remaining space for these three. This should be fine. And then at a later point, we can add the graph once it's ready. Yeah, so these obviously need to change. And this as well, maybe, I'm not sure. So this is SM size. I guess it's not the size, mesh size, and then let's check the batch component. Yeah, so the default is actually MD. You can see I defined some TypeScript enums here. Yeah. Okay, so this is fixed now, and now last but not least, these should be done as well. So this is again normal and gray 500. So actually we could move that to the cell here. Let's see. No, sorry. This one here. Okay, and then stack trace, let's see. What happens when we do that as well? And we define the color on the cell level. So now this, the text here at the top has the wrong color. So issue info. Let's change this a bit. And we have here error. Let's see. Should be 900. And can we change as well? Okay, so this looks quite okay already. Now let's check if there's any margin. This is 12. So I guess this has a margin. So this is already 12. It's good. So all of this is fine. Then the last thing I would like to check is if there's some spacing between two. Doesn't seem like that. Actually, more looks like this negative margin. Let's check if it should be okay. We can also, again, like, that's interesting. Get a screenshot. So let's check. Was loud. And now use the. I'm not sure if that will work. The perfect pixel. So this looks a bit different, to be honest. So the spacing between those is different, but I guess that's because we have the headers here. So this might change depending on the headers, and if this is called warning, then this takes up more space. So yeah, the icon seems to be a bit larger. The text seems okay. So let's check the icon size once again. Not that it's super important, but so this is 40 by 40, and here we have, say, 48. So let's quickly check if we have 40 in the theme. So this is space 10. language I can. Okay, so this should be better now. Yeah, I guess this would actually be enough for me now. I don't really want to debug the font at the moment. I guess I will do that off screen and update you with a result. I think this can take some time and might be a bit annoying. Yeah, so let's create a quick commit. Issue page, issue row. I'm wondering if it makes sense to actually have a pull request only for this. It's like not really a big deal. So we have create issue row and create issue table. I might actually just combine them into one. Let's quickly check. So style issue row. I'll push the changes. We can check in the draft pull request that I opened yesterday. Honestly, let's continue working on this branch. So it's also not really a standalone feature. So first I would like to rename the branch then to reflect this change. So issue list, we could call it simply, I guess. And then git push origin. Okay, then this is even called issue list. So let's close this pull request. Close in favor. Let's see. Let's create a new pull request first and clean up the branch here. So this branch still exists on my remote, so we'll just delete it here. And now create a new pull request. Issue list. Maybe we can actually I'm not sure. I was wondering if we can just change the target here. But yeah, anyways, maybe it's possible. Create draft pull request and then so close in favor of number 15. So now whenever somebody wants to know why this was closed, they can just check the new pull request and see that it's basically the same. Okay. Then let's continue with the issue list and can simply create a new file here. So now let's copy paste this stuff here from, actually I can just write this out. Body for now, and then let me start with some mock data issues. Okay, and then simply render issues.map. And then let's call this issue row. So it's missing here. Okay, and then we need to add a key, of course, and project language and issue. So this should be issue ID. And then project language. Okay. So, and now we can, I guess it's enough if we simply render this here in the issues page. And let's see what happens now. Something's very slow here. Not sure what happened. Okay. Let's force close this on dev. Restart the development server. So this was built now, supposedly. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is of course a bit stupid what I did here. This page. So now I rendered this one in itself. So this was called actually issue list. So I trusted my autocomplete. We don't need to expose this one here, but rather this one. And now list. Okay. This one is type import. I will move that down. And now I hope that, let's restart the server again. Okay, so everything just falls apart. npm run dev. Okay, finally. So, and if we duplicate this, okay, so then let's clean up a bit. I guess we don't need the props actually. And let's style the table a bit. Styled. So it's still stuck in the. You can hear also my machine is already getting annoyed. So let's change the key here quickly. And now let's see what this actually looks like. So we have this table here. It has shadow MD. Okay. Let's quickly check. So we have a border and the shadow. Let's copy paste those styles. Create 200. So, this should be color. Should maybe also start defining these shadows. But yeah, for now this should be okay. So this should have span the whole width. Okay, this looks actually already quite fine. And now let's check again. So we still need the header here. T-head. T-H. Issue. So issue level events user. Users. Okay. so table page. This was the wrong key, I guess. Oh. Okay, this was a bit too aggressive. Replacing. Okay. So these should be aligned left, I guess. And they also need the correct text line left. Then we also need the spacing here. Should be similar, but I will double check in a bit. Yes, let's do the imported. And now the font size, let's see. XS, okay. XS medium. And gray 500. So I hope I have this font. Text font. XS medium. And color gray 500. Okay. This looks already quite good. Now let's double check the spacing of these cells. This one here, 12 and 24. Okay, so the 3, I suppose. And then we have a border here as well. So let's quickly check. This doesn't have a border. So gray 200 and 1 pixel. I think we can put that on the T hat. So defines the header cell. So let's call this header cell actually. Then const table T hat. One pixel solid and then gray 500, I guess. Gray 200 actually, but yeah, okay. So this comes already close. I'm not sure the table obviously doesn't have the border radius, which it's not supported on tables. Maybe because let's see if this also works. So there are a few things that are a bit problematic. One is this the corner here. So I guess the content is overflowing, so it hides the border. And border collapse. If I don't use border collapse, then the border here actually disappears. So yeah. And of course, somebody asked the question already. So I actually don't want border collapse. Let's so I don't want border collapse because of the border radius here. Let's check again. Okay, so at the moment this looks fine. Now the problem is that I have the borders here and I don't want that. And I don't see the border here. So let's Works. Doesn't. So now I'm back at CSS trial and error. Alternatively, I can use border collapse. To get annoying here a bit. So border collapse. Suggestion was to use border spacing. I tried that already, so this works fine, except for this border. Disappearing. So border spacing. Okay, I will leave it as is and check back later. Doesn't really make sense to try to fix this under pressure here. I will fix, let's see. So I will just leave it like this. And let's continue with the data fetching actually. So okay, so we have the issue list. I already have, let's see, project list. So I already did some API data fetching here in the projects list here. And I'd like to do the same now for the issues. So what I did here is create a custom hook. This is how it looks like. So we can actually just copy paste this. Use issues, issue types. So, and then issue. Okay, so basically what this does is uses React query, defines the type here to be an issue, and then gets, we have the get issues function here, which uses Axios to fetch the API. The API result, let's check. Looks like this. So this is JSON. Yesterday we didn't have this num events and num users yet, so now it's updated. And this should also be what we get here in the issue list. So let's const let's export this. So let's see. Okay. Loading error and data, I guess. Let's see if we need anything else. Loading is error, okay. Should we need that actually? So we can also copy paste the error handling or loading handling for now. And now let's check. So this should actually be already the list of issues. See, data might be undefined, so like this. And now we have a long list of issues. But actually it looks quite fine. So the project language is the next thing that we need to take care of. But as you can see, data fetching was really easy. And so we have the, yeah, exactly, all the issues. Now, let me check how we can get the project language. So you can see we have a project ID. So this basically tells us which project this issue belongs to. You can think of it as a website or like React application backend or something. So we actually need to have access to the projects as well. Let's do it like this. Okay, and then this would be a bit more specific. Okay, so now we have issues.data. And now we have, as I said, the ID here, the project ID actually, and we want to get the project language by ID. So this is how the projects look like. So this is also an array. We could, like, the naive approach would be to do something. Let's see. And then something like find p dot ID. Of course. So like this. And then we could dot language. And now this gives us already the correct result, but it's not so nice to iterate over this project array like for each issue, because we have a lot of issues, and this might get us in performance trouble, I guess, at some point. So actually here we can already prepare a map for that maps the project ID to its language. So let's see, projects data reduce. So now a bit more advanced in simple mapping. Now we have the previous, then we have the project. And here's the start value, an empty object. And now we can just return previous and project.id and the project.language. So now let's quickly check what that looks like. Here's the so basically we have the project ID here and we get the language. So as the TypeScript name again, it's supposed to this project ID to language. I guess TypeScript will actually complain now and then issue the project ID. So implicitly has an any type, exactly. So let's remove this. Okay, so this should still work. The only thing is that we need to tell TypeScript that this is actually okay. So unfortunately, I forgot the name, like what I should look for. Let's check the TypeScript documentation. Bracket, I guess. Exactly. And this should be now string and project language. And ta-da, we don't have a problem anymore. Okay, this is already pretty nice. Let's check again here. So I can see that there's still a bug with the navigation here. This shouldn't move. Let's quickly check if we can just fix this. So this is position fixed. This would work, yes. Now the problem is that we need to add some spacing here. Let's see if we maybe add some a div around this. Okay, but okay, this would work. But first, let's commit this. We don't need the issues anymore. Great. Let's check again the issues list. Okay, I will leave this as well. I guess this will be an exercise for the React Job Simulator. And yeah, but looks pretty okay like this already. So that is minus data from PI. Now, one thing that should be pretty cool is that since we use React query, this should come quite handy. So let's see. Here we use, it sends the request to projects. And now, if I'm not mistaken, this should actually be cached. So when we go here, see, this should be a bit faster and still send the request here, but let's do it the other way around. So if we click here now, the thing should be cached. And yeah, this was pretty fast. Also to double check. And yeah, the data is already there. I guess it's still sending the request here. You can also show this. So let's delete the network tabs. So I guess React query is loading. Yeah, as you can see, when the window is being refocused, it's sending another request. So I actually can't remove these now, but when we go here, the data is already there, but the request is only sent in the background. So let's see. And here it's sent, but the data is already shown here. So this is really handy, and this stuff is really difficult to implement on your own. So that's why using something like React query makes a lot of sense. So we have an error in the git log. Couldn't find remote ref. I guess this didn't update yet. Let's do this manually. And so I renamed the branch, and I suspect that VS Code didn't realize that yet. But yeah, also doesn't matter much. This worked now. Let's see. Not sure if there was anything else that I wanted to do. The pagination is a different task here. Yeah, implement pagination. I will do that next, I guess. We can actually move this to done and only use this. Yeah, so I won't do that now. Let me check again. So we have this, we still have the issue with the fonts and the font weight. That's a bit annoying. Okay, yeah, I remember what I wanted to do is fixing the navigation. Let's see if we can quickly do that here. It would be nice, but otherwise I would create a new PR. So sidebar navigation. So we have the container here. This already worked partly, but not completely. So let's check again. So now you can see that these are again, these are not aligned at the bottom. Let me see why. So that's not taking the full height. See if this fixes it already. I just need to do display flex, of course. Okay, and then this should expand to the whole width, which it doesn't yet. So let's check. That's not it. Not. Oh, let's do that. So actually, I guess we could just duplicate these styles. Let's quickly, it's just for prototyping, I would clean that up in a bit. So this works fine. And on mobile, let's see. Not sure why this looks so small. think that wasn't the case before, so I should double check as well. So this works, it's fine. But so easiest thing I could think of is constrict container tiled and then container, and just position fixed. We also need to have this one here. It's not really beautiful, but so I guess something is wrong with the list here as well. Let's first check like this. Okay, on desktop this would work fine. Now there's a last problem on mobile. I guess I will. So it looks strange here. Okay, I guess I will tackle this off screen, but let me quickly check if this, yeah, my assumption. So my assumption was that the issue list is somehow breaking this, the mobile view, and this seems to be correct. So we add this again. So yeah, now this is actually like broken, but let's see what happens when we, so for projects it works again, which is at least good. Still some things are a bit broken here. Yeah, I will fix that off screen, but yeah, so I guess we came quite far already, and tomorrow I guess I will implement the pagination here, and yeah, then we're almost done with this feature. Yeah, thanks for watching, and